We are going to start book 9. We have done book 8 earlier, last year, during the vacation period. Now we can jump from book 7 to book 9. I think we had taken for book 7, how many? 8 months, roughly. Something like that, yeah. More than that, yeah. More than 8 months, in fact, yeah. Yeah. In fact, that is one of the longest books in Savitri, the Book of Yoga. And that was a book which was composed very late in the writing of Savitri, 46, 47, during that period, you see. Practically nothing existed before that as far as Book of Yoga is concerned, you see. So in that we have essentially the latest yogic statements of Mother and Shemadu's realization as recorded in Savitri, you see. So if you want to see a kind of spiritual autobiography of them, then we can really trace it through those stages, you see. Book of Death, Book 8, was written in 1918 and it had remained more or less as it was. The first draft of Savitri, it contained Book 8 and it was called at that time Canto 3, what we have got here, Canto 3. In fact, it is written by Shevendra, 3 Roman letters like that. Now, that Canto 3 was the canto number of that draft. It does not mean that in the Book of Death, Shivendra would have added 2 more cantos when he would take it up for revision. The 3 was pertaining to the earlier draft of Savitri, you see. When in mid-November 1950, just before Shevendra's withdrawal, he dictated 3 important passages in the Book of Fate, particularly the last 72 lines of the Book of Fate, which are put in the Queen's mouth, in Narad's mouth, answering Queen. Those 72 prophetic lines were dictated in the last stage. And when that was done, then Shivendra asked Nirodharan, is there something remaining in Savitri? And then Nirodharan pointed out the Book of Death and the epilogue. About that he said, we shall see about them later on. We shall see about them later on. Now, it is subject to interpretations. What does that later on mean? Mother says Shivendra wanted to leave it as it was. That's all. But then there are many intriguing aspects in it. What does that 3 mean? Canto 3, Book of Death, Canto 3, 3 mean. One clever interpretation is we have in the first part the Book of the Traveler of the World, etc., 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 all that. Book 2 also. Now, first 2 cantos of the Book of Beginnings, the Symbol Dawn and the Issue, bring out the issue of creation. Satyavan must die is a statement made at the end of the first canto, and why, etc., etc., that issue is mentioned in Canto 2. Now, From that, the rest is a kind of different material as far as the issue and the development of the story is concerned. You can straight away jump from issue to the book of death. It is a kind of packing, whatever you want to call it, or developing the story and all that thing. But in terms of the sequence of development, book of the symbol dawn, the issue, death, and then the fight, the quarrel, the battle with Yama, etc. So that is the main theme of Savitri, in fact. So the rest is a kind of a packing or a padding, if you like to say. See, huge big padding. Well, in a way of speaking, of course. And therefore, from Canto 1, the symbol dawn, Canto 2, the issue, Canto 3, the book of death. So you can really justify the Canto 3 for that kind of a thing. See, the yogis are very puzzling people that way, and they can do this kind of thing, you see. Now, okay, let me first give about this book 9 some details. We have here in this book essentially two cantos. Canto 1, Towards the Black Void, and Canto 2, The Journey in the Eternal Night and the Voice of the Darkness. In Canto 1, we have got three sections, 134, section 135, section 136. And Canto 2, we have only one long section, 137. In section 134, there are 23 sentences and 82 lines. Section 135, 34 sentences and 137 lines. Section 136, 38 sentences and 152 lines. Therefore, the total number of sentences in Canto 1 is 95 and the total number of lines 371. 371 lines is the total number of lines in Canto 1. In Canto 2, there are in all 141 sentences and 481 lines. So this is the longest canto also in this book. 481 lines, you see. So in all, therefore, you have got 802 lines in book 9, you see. Before we take this canto, you see, it starts, so was she left alone in the huge wood. So was she. So obviously it gives you connection with what had happened earlier. And let us see what happened earlier in the previous canto towards the end. Satyavan was busy with his work. He feels tremendous pain in his head and heart, also body, and he approaches Savitri and tells her, this is what I am suffering with. But of course Savitri knows that the moment of his death is arriving. It is noon, summer noon, in the month of June, in the northern part of India. So you can imagine the intensity of heat for the summer noon. And his hard work gives rise to some kind of a sunstroke thing. You see, there has to be a physical cause for death. If he died, doesn't mean anything. He has taken a physical form. There has to be a physical cause for death. And the physical cause for death is the summer heat and his hard work. In fact, throughout Savitri, you will see that all these things are connected with some are known, some are known, some are known. That thing appears constantly in various descriptions of Savitri. So samar and known are connected with the death. See, the marriage of Satyavan and Savitri we have seen, it was summer noon when high people out morning, see. And exactly 1 year after the marriage, he used to die. So again, it has to be summer noon. So the physical cause of death is the summer noon, or you can say perhaps sunstroke. You see, it is certainly not the question of he accidentally getting hit with an axe, because there is nothing is there seen. It is also not that he was bitten by a snake at midday like that, you see. So that also is the only cause, physical cause for death is therefore the summer noon, you see. Now therefore, Satyavan tells to his to Savitri, he is failed, lost, and even as her pallid lips pressed his, he is failed. You see, he answered, Savitri, Savitri, oh Savitri, lean down my soul and kiss me while I die. That is what he says, you see, kiss me while I die. So Savitri is kind of kissing him there. People say kissing him there would mean, you see, kiss me while I die. People say, clever people say that she was giving artificial breathing to regenerate his, see. But it is not so, you see, it's very clear, see. And even as her pallid lips press his face, means she is responding to him, but he is not able to respond now at all to her, see. Losing last sweetness of response, his cheek pressed down her golden arm. She sought his cheek pressed down her golden arm. That is in a way significant. We shall see what that means. His mouth still with her living mouth, as if she could persuade his soul back with her kiss. Then grew aware they were no more alone. Somebody has come there in the prison. Something had come there, conscious, vast, and dire. That is the approach of death, Yama. Near her, she felt a silent shade immense, chilling the noon with darkness for his back. You see, again, chilling the noon. You see, the mention of noon is putting that everywhere, you see, is there, you see. Chilling the noon. See, the intensity of summer noon, that itself becomes cold in the presence of death. Darkness for his back, an awful hush had fallen upon the place. So the destined meeting place had become the destined place for the future creation. There was no cry of birds, no voice of bees, no cry of birds, no voice of bees, because everything is chilled. Everything has become cold. Everything has become silent. Everything. So this is a kind of an elaboration of chilling. No cry of birds, no voice of bees, you see. A terror and an anguish filled the world. Now that is the effect of vast and dire presence which was there, you see. Vast and dire presence which was there. A terror and an anguish filled the world, as if annihilation's mystery had taken a sensible form. Although poetically it is said as if, yogically it is so. Yes, annihilation's mystery had taken a sensible form. In the language of poetry it is as if, but yogically it is actually so that annihilation's mystery had taken a sensible form. He is standing there now. A cosmic mind looked out on all from formidable eyes, contemning all with his unbearable gaze, and with immortal lips and a vast brow, he saw in his immense destroying thought all things and beings as a pitiful dream. So this is what he says. You see, he sees everything. It's a pitiful dream. What is this creation? See, I mean, what shall I say, assessment of Yama about this creation, you see. But basically what is important is Yama or death, he is identified with cosmic mind. It means that it is an operative power in the cosmic dimensions. It is pertinent, cosmic mind. It is not some higher transcendental mind which is coming and operating here. It is some force, some power, some being, some shade, or whatever you want to call it, operating in the dynamics of the cosmos. The highest level of the cosmos is continuing all with an unbearable gaze, with immortality, rejecting with calm disdain nature's delight, the wordless meaning of its deep regard, voicing the unreality of things and life that would be forever but never was, and its brief and vain recurrence without cease, as if from a silence without form or name, the shadow of a remote uncaring God doomed to his not illusory universe, cancelling the show of idea and act in time and its imitation of eternity. So this is the characterization of this dire shadow which is standing there in front of Savitri now. Savitri is feeling that thing, they're already present. And therefore, Savitri knows that she knew that visible death was standing there and Satyavan had passed from her embrace. Now,
is it okay to talk and ask some questions?
Yes.
Normally, when one dies, Yama doesn't come, he sends messenger to take the soul away, isn't it?
No, I'm not getting exactly what is it.
Say, for example, if I'm dying, Yama is not going to come personally to take my soul away. God of death won't come. Maybe a messenger of him comes and takes the soul away.
No, this is Savitri seeing, not Satyavan. This is what is showed here is what Savitri is feeling, what Savitri is perceiving. Satyavan has now lost all his perceptions. He is no more there now. He has passed. In fact, he says here, had passed. It's already clear. So it is not Satyavan, it is Savitri now who is being described.
Yeah, but Yama normally come down to earth and take the soul away.
He is coming at the moment.
He's coming.
He is coming here. At this stage, she knew that visible death was standing there. Now the important thing is, in fact, this is what I was going to tell. The emphasis is on knew. He doesn't say, the poet does not say, she saw.
Yeah, she feels.
She feels. No. I mean, she knows. Because she has a foreknowledge that it is going to happen. And the way Satyavan is responding, he is not responding to her kiss and all that kind of a thing. She knew that the moment has arrived. The moment has arrived. It is Savitri who knows that, you see. In fact, that is what I was going to explain also. And he says, she knew that visible death. Now, she has not really yet seen, but she knows that yes, he is now standing there in front. As if he is now physically, visibly present there. You see. Was standing there, and Satyavan. See, again, this does not really, strictly speaking, does not really convey the fact that he is dead. It is Savitri's assessment, Savitri's perception, Savitri's knowledge, or whatever you call it, which is now interpreted as his death. But of course, the fact also, you see, when he says had passed from her embrace, it means that yes, she is now he is no more now there, you see.